We had decided to sell our old house a couple of years ago, but we tend to deliberate for a very long time before we make a decision. Then once we make the decision, we want everything to happen right away. We scour neighborhoods, rated school districts, the whole nine. When we finally decided to sell, which my wife found out she was pregnant with our second child, we needed more room. Okay, we need to do this quickly. We need to move now. She saw a house and just fell in love with the way it was presented. She goes, "Do you know anything about this Duncan duo?" I said, "Well, I've heard their radio show a couple of times, but I don't really know anything about them." She goes, "Well, I'm going to call them. I'm really interested in this house." So she called Tucker. But we kind of identified 3 areas that we thought distinguishes or sets apart the folks here at Duncan from anybody else that we've talked to or looked at. This is the 4th house I've sold as an adult. First, advocacy. At every step of the process, the folks here weren't just representing us. They actually took our interest, listened to us, and then pressed the other side to fulfill their obligations and commitments. Really felt like you had our best interest at heart, that you were fighting hard for us. And that's very important. The second was technology. And you kind of break that down to a couple of different areas. The communication side of things. With Duncan, it was phone, email, and text, and it was immediate. You seemed to share the sense of urgency that we felt. If I was at work, if I was in a meeting, get a text, we need to talk, something's come up, the closing's been pushed back again, whatever. I knew about it within minutes of you knowing about it. And that's critical, because it allowed us to communicate, make our decisions, deliberate, do whatever we need to do. The second part of the technology was the way you set up the house for showing. The way Duncan presents houses, having your own staff photographer who really seems to know his business. And I think Danya said this when she first spoke with us. She goes, "When people come into your house, we want it to be a second showing. We want them to feel like they've already fully seen the house online." And so the people who are showing up are people who are actually really interested versus, let's go see what that house really looks like. So that was key. The other part of that was getting it out there and the way you set up the showings, using the electronic notification to set up the showings and to track the showings. Getting a text in the middle of the day saying, "Someone wants to see your house at 4 o'clock. Is this okay?" Yes. We can not be in the house at 4 o'clock. And we had 20 some odd showings within the first 2 weeks. But the way y'all present the house, but just, what a great idea. How come nobody else does this? How come everyone doesn't do